Hello, 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 hello. We are at River Landing in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. It's a beautiful day. It's a Sunday. It's Father's Day. And after talking to all these women today, I feel like it's Bother's Day. But they got to listen to you sometime. They can't just talk about their stuff. I mean, it is Father's Day, right? And Cars 3 is playing at the theater. So get your grandkids down there. It's good for them. It's good all-around entertainment. This is YouTube Live, DrBongWater Live at the South Saskatchewan, and I'm going to mount the camera to this contraption here. Now the cop just left and I had a few words with him because I'm parked on the boulevard, which is under construction, and I'm not on the path, but for some reason this gate is installed to block pedestrian traffic. Now people are going to be forced to see that. That's right. You can also milk me if you want. So we're going to see if we can get a few bucks here. I got to hook up the power. If I could find the power cable. Here it is. Oh, and I got to go switch it on. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll quickly mount this because I told the cop I'd only be 35 minutes, which is good because it'll... We're still alive. Sorry, I bumped the side of the phone, and while I was talking about the conversation I had with the cop, he said he's going to be back here in 35 minutes, but I've got to be, and it's like 15 minutes after 3 right now, so that'll take me up into 10 minutes to 4, which is great because Cars 3 is playing and my granddaughter's going to be there along with my son-in-law and my daughter and my wife and Anita, and I'm a big car guy, and I think this is good for girls to get into the automotive thing, because, you know, I mean, it's a Disney Pixar production and they're into detail. Okay, all right, here's the power. All right, gotta go flip the switch now. Okay, YouTube, we switched it over to inverter that's making 110 volts AC, so the piano runs on 110 volts AC, and I am now grabbing what they call a damper. This is a device where you step on with your toe, and as you hold it down, it holds the key down, because if you normally play a note on a piano, you hit it, take your finger off, and it mutes, and you can't hear it anymore. Okay, so if you want to get that note to latch, in other words, to stay on, keep playing, you hold it down with your foot, and then you can go and blend other sounds, right? Damper. You learned something today. Now, DrBongWater, he's the semi-fabricated illegitimate son of America's greatest war hero, Richard Ira Bong, who died on Hiroshima Day, August 6, 1945. Okay, I just plugged the damper pedal into the damper pedal plug. And boy, have I got a job to do. Oh boy, oh boy. Got a job to do. It goes back to Meet the Navy. Meet the Navy is the production that launched my father's career as a musical director. Meet the Navy was a traveling roadshow sponsored by the Royal Canadian Navy and MGM We're the franchisors of Okay, let's pull this a little closer to ourselves. The keyboard. All right, drag it a little closer. You see a lot of keyboard. I'm about 1/3. I gotta suck my gut in. I gotta get a crowdfunder going. Okay, just powering up now. A crowdfunder that will raise money for expenses to cross Canada to as many places as I can hit for whatever I can afford, to busk on the streets and to broadcast to YouTube Live and to busker.co Live and to do live upload with Facebook, all three of them in rotation and daily. We'll do a concert on each, what do you call that? Social media. Each social media. Now, okay, now listen to this. Is that distorted? Maybe just a bit. Now I've got the tip hat right beside me there. People are forced to walk by it, but I don't have any money in it. Rules of busking should always throw bait in there. So what I'll do is I'll throw a $5 in there. That'll guilt the hell out of them. Whoops, I don't even have that. So why don't I just leave a check? Is that funny? Let's see, what impression would that get if you saw a blank check? Hey, we've got a veteran over here. Let's see if we can get him over there. Let's see if we can just get him to wave. Wave way up high. Where were you in 1945? Were you born yet? You weren't? Yeah. You were. April 30th, the day Hitler died. Where were you in 1945? Here. Here? Did you go downtown? Were they parading? No. Were the bagpipes out? No. What the hell? Where were they? You know, the train had 200 people on board from the Royal Canadian Navy putting on a show to the people of the street. It was called Meet the Navy. Do you want to dance? You're live. YouTube Live. Go for it, man. Meet the Navy, oh greet the Navy. Is that what we're here for? Meet the Navy, you'll love the way we march while we sing for. We got a story to tell and it's a doozy as well. It's as old as Broadway is young. So come out and see a movie with me and meet the Navy tonight. They didn't see my tip jar, my tip hat. You know what they mean when you tip a hat? It also means this. Do they get it? No. You know why they don't get it? They weren't downtown on VE Day. They were either not born or they didn't know about it. Meet the Navy, oh meet the Navy, is that what we're here for? Meet the Navy, you'll love the way we march while we sing for. We got a story to tell and it's a doozy as well. It's as old as Broadway is young. So come out and see a movie with me and meet the Navy tonight. Can you hear it? Is it distorting? It is? Is that clear? That was a Sentra that drove by. Is that like copy infringement? So should we turn on the big speaker? Saskatoon, they don't know how to react to this, because you don't see this sort of thing going on in these streets. Everything is canned music, and they go to the bar and they listen to canned music. Then they come down here, and then they might catch some live music down there, but it's mostly canned stuff. You see live dancing, but I think the musicians of Saskatoon probably make as much money as the Scientology volunteers. They make $50 a week. Well, you could make $50 a week if you go busking a couple times. If you're any good, you'll make $25 in your visit, and maybe you'll even make 50. And if there's a swarm of people around, like the jazz festival, you'll do 250 if you happen to be sitting in the right position. So let's start from the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. When you read, you begin with ABC. When you sing, you begin with Do, Re, Mi. I'm using data. It's going to be interesting to see how much of a half an hour of upload data I use. Now I'm sitting here with the smart car with the lights flashing, and I'm going to rely on the policeman to tell me what time it is. So this cross-country tour, let me tell you about it. I've worked out the 10 rules of behavior happiness. Behavior happiness, what the hell is that? Hey, I lost my military guy. He couldn't take it anymore. Live upload YouTube. Want to do a dance? What you do is you pick a person that's walking down this side, and then you dance in time to their step. Yeah. You go, what the hell's going on over there? What the hell's going on over there? What's that? That's good. It's a story about a girl who was named after a berry. I know another Barry girl. She's in her 90s and she danced with Fred Astaire. Her name was Barry Chase. Yes. She was probably one of Hollywood's finest dancers to be able to give female support to Fred Astaire. So I wrote this song for my mother, who was born in a city that was flattened, 60% flattened by the tank battles that took place. Rostov on the Don River. It's a port town, and when you're looking across the water, they say that you can see the Ukraine on a clear day. Raindrop. You know the song yet? That song sounds very close to Cheers. Everybody knows her name. Everybody knows your name. And it's raining. Look, you can see the raindrops. And we're glad that you came. Okay, it's starting to rain harder. And the trouble with this is if the water gets into the switches, it'll cause a short. So what I need, you people that are watching this, and I'm gonna have to shut this off soon because of the rain, is I need your support to throw $10 at me, and tell everybody you know to throw $10 at me. I'm gonna go on Indiegogo, and I'm gonna do one of these little concert vignettes to you every day on all 3 channels. That is YouTube and busker.co and Facebook. And every concert will be different because it's live. And we're talking crowdfunder. Okay, raising money so that I can tour from Saskatoon to Halifax, so that I can interview the lady who's in her 90s that was in Meet the Navy. She was the leading lady. Her name's Blanche Lund. Meet the Navy, oh greet the Navy, is that what we're here for? Meet the Navy, you'll love the way we march while we sing for. We got a story to tell and it's a doozy as well. It's as old as Broadway is young. So come out and see a movie with me and meet the Navy tonight. What's interesting about this story is that on VE Day, which was April 30th, 1945, the day they announced Hitler's death, people were dancing in the street because that means the war was over. The crew of 150 people on board the black smoke belching locomotive sitting at the end of 21st Street in Saskatoon was actually the partial home to the Meet the Navy cast and crew. Dancers, singers, actors, acrobats, comedians. It's a Navy, it's the Navy, you'll get used to it. The guy that wrote You'll Get Used to It ended up playing at the Lychee Gardens restaurant in Toronto for many, many years. And he was the writer of You'll Get Used to It. And he had his own grand piano up on stage at Lychee Gardens, a Chinese restaurant, the finest Chinese restaurant you've ever seen, much bigger than what Donald Trump could describe. This is back in the 60s, before they built the City Hall on Nathan Phillips Square. Meet the Navy, Lychee Gardens was there before they moved. It was grand. It was just like the day that Meet the Navy performed in Saskatoon in 1945. They were performing at the Capitol Theatre, which is in the same caliber as what Lychee Gardens was. Yeah, Lychee Gardens, it was an era. It was a grand old era. It's like the Grand Ole Opry. So they actually gave a pre-show performance on the street at 21st Street to celebrate VE Day. It was the first flash mob in Canadian history, and there were no video cameras back then, and there were no film cameras for that matter, because television hadn't come out yet. They had radio, and it was a surprise. The radio stations weren't ready for it, but they did a movie about Meet the Navy. So all the music is there. I'd like to redo the movie in cartoon form, Meet the Navy. It's called Meet the Navy 1946. You'll find it on YouTube. And also, you'll find all these other productions that were associated to Meet the Navy 1946. So look for my name, Sergei Romanov, on YouTube, and you'll see documentaries, you'll see vignettes, you'll see shorts. And by the time I get to see Blanche Lund in Halifax and interview her, and we'll talk about the old days, the story is very detailed because the Russian Romanov family was involved. There was a survivor that was kept secret, and to get by the KGB and the Red Army, they made a deal with the Royal Canadian Navy to do an exchange. So my dad had to take the name of the Romanov. You see, I'm not a Romanov, I'm a Peugeot. And he had to take the name of the out of marriage of convenience to bring in Elsa Romanov into Canada and keep the name alive. Well, also they gave Elsa Romanov the title of wardrobe manager in the show. So she's in the credits. You see Elsa Romanov, and my dad, who's now Ivan Romanov, who used to be Miroslav Peugeot, very Ukrainian name, who loved doing Russian stuff for some reason. He was just crazy about it. And that's another problem. You can't mix the two. It's like oil and water. When Russians meet Ukrainians and Ukrainians meet Russians, they want to kill each other. It seems to be a very old problem. But anyway, let's sing about it. Let's talk about it. Let's go for the plus, So, how are we for time? Let's see, we got 23 minutes, and I told the cop that I'd be 35, so I'll just do a little bit more filler. And, I'm going to have to get my towel out because it's raining here. It's raining here. So I need to create a following. I need you people to get back to me, to let me know if you can send a few email addresses my way, or if you could look at that, it's still raining. Here, I'll just cover that up temporarily. So I think I should do one more tune before I go. Oh yeah, okay, gotta do Mad World, 1963. Mad. I wonder if I can get through this song. All right. Remember I was talking about Barry Chase? She was one of the survivors from Mad World. She's still alive. I also want to interview Carl Reiner, who's Meathead's dad, Rob Reiner's dad. There was Carl Reiner and also Jerry Lewis. It's a mad world. That was, his name was Stanley Kramer. He did a lot of serious movies. This was his first comedy, and he spent $9,400,000 to make this movie. It had 120 comedians in it, and there's only 2 left. And they just did cameos. So all the ones that had the front runners that had the lines were people like Milton Berle and Mickey Rooney, Buddy Hackett, Sid Caesar. Oh, and don't forget, Ethel Merman was in it, and the daughter of... Okay, I gotta keep drying off this piano. Ethel Merman was in it. And, jeez. Come on, rain. It's one of these little spotty summer rains. I'm gonna tilt the camera up so that you can see. Can you see that, what I mean? That's a little spotty rain, okay? I mean, that's going to stop in a few minutes, but I'm going to go see Cars 3 with my granddaughter, Abigail, and I think I mentioned that to you before. And just one other thing before we go, and I'm running out of time. How are we for time? 26 minutes. Okay, I got at least 5 minutes. I started late, so he's by here every 35 minutes. Okay, and the raindrops are getting bigger. From the sky, dun, 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 ba, 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 ba. Little da da da, do 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 do. raining too much. I better pack her up. Okay, so keep this in mind, okay? And I'm going to use DrBongWater as a name catcher, and I'm also going to use Canada 150 as a name catcher, dropping that. And Meet the Navy will be another headliner, and first flash mob ever. The 200 mile to the gallon carburetor from Winnipeg, 1936, will be in this. With a working prototype. If I get enough funding to build one, and I have the plans, it's up here so they can't steal it from me. And the next one would be 24 Sussex Drive. We're going to get Mike Holmes and Bob Vila together to represent Canada and the United States as competitors in what to do with 24 Sussex Drive, which is Canada's White House, for you out there that don't know anything about this. So it's raining really hard now, so I saved my Tilly. And I guess we're gonna have to shut her down here. Might as well just leave her running. I'm gonna power down. Okay, power down and unplug. Okay, power down, unplug, and wipe it down. Down. Okay, put the cover on here. So, here's a bit of a bust. People don't busk here, you know. People kind of get used to busking or tipping when they see it, you know. It's like they see the same busker every time they get on the subway, you know, or they go to the liquor store. They're same busker again. And give them throw them a loony as we're walking by. We're not even listening to his music. This is going to be different. We're going to be concertizing, telling the story, live improv. The story's never going to be the same the way it's explained. It's going to be a little bit different each time, a little bit modified. There'll be more information. And I better zip this up because it's really starting to come down. Okay, Roland Steinway, putting you away. Oh, gotta close the windows. Okay, got the windows. Okay. Now, another thing I'm gonna have to do is I'll have to put the piano stand on the inside because I'm going to be going in the theater. Suck it in, Romanoff. Okay. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. You watch. I'm into probiotics. My daughter's into probiotics, and she gave me all this probiotic stuff for a Father's Day present. Bless her heart. And it's expensive, that stuff. Yeah, I mean, what's Father's Day for? You know? This is going to be Maxwell soon. I ordered the plates. Okay, let's get this out of here. Wow. Okay, in the car. It's pouring rain. I got my. Gonna wipe the water off the piano stand and the interior of the car, and the sills are pretty dirty. I'm gonna turn on the air conditioning. Yeah, with the Mercedes-Benz locking system, you have to hit unlock so that you can. There, it started. It prevents the. Okay, now turn on the air conditioning because it's really humid in here. Put it on full defrost. Okay, full defrost, full fan, both the highest level of compressor. Where are you? Okay, you see motors running just under 1,000 RPM. See the, here, let's flip this around. Oh, can you flip it around with, Oh, doesn't look like it on YouTube Live. Yeah, we're at 31 minutes, 52 seconds. And I didn't get any tips, but I got to get my tripod. It's still sitting out in the rain. You animal, you. How can you treat your tripod like that? Okay, gonna flip up the... Yeah, look at that, okay? Flipping over the side. Yeah, look at that. So when I go to the back window, I'm gonna pop the rear hatch glass, press the button with my left hand. There it goes, click, and the light came on. Okay. Keep mopping up. Now you gotta keep the air conditioning on because it gets very humid and the windows fog up. So, and once they get fogged, it takes a long time to defog them using the same process called air conditioning. Does it got air conditioning? Do you want air conditioning? Up to 35 minutes. Okay, the cop should be coming by any time now. Maybe we'll get him to say hi. All right. Yeah, so this is an indication that maybe I should have mounted my suction cup a little bit over to the right. Let's see if that's any better. A little bit. Still not quite enough. That'll do. You see the rear view mirrors in the way. Okay. Now, keep wiping, man, because we're wet and we're splashed and we got. Okay. So this is one way to empty the park. Okay, just backing off of the boulevard and heading to the theater to go see Cars 3. Turn off the flashers. There he is. Nope, the cop just went by. Different car. So another cop did the pass for him. They must have said something to him. My flashers were on, so, you know, that's another reason not to stop. It would look like a hooligan. Hey, you're a hooligan. You're a hooligan. So Maxwell the smart car. Cross Canada tour. About heritage, history, happiness, hope, and harmony, health for our queen. It's 55 years later, there's 3 stars left, not Darth Vader. Barry Chase, Jerry Lewis, and Carl Reiner. It's the Mad Canada world. So think of Wyerton Willie, global warming, it's so chilly. So insulate, don't just masturbate. It's the Mad Canada world. It's Canada 150. Do people know what that means? Think of heritage, history, happiness, health, and harmony. Hope for our queen. Actually, I like health for our queen as opposed to hope for our queen, health for our queen. Because she's in her 90s, man. I think Smart Car could probably squeeze into a smart spot. All right, still rolling. We're still live, and it's 10 minutes to 4, and I hate driving around with tailgaters when you're looking for a place to park. Just pass me, you. And I don't want to park in front of the Capri. I'm gonna get my wheels stolen. Okay, bye.